So here we have a place value chart, and we know that we have ones, then tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, and 100,000s. But there are also place values beyond the decimal point. The decimal point separates values that are 1 or larger from values that are smaller than 1. So the first digit after the decimal point is the tenths digit, showing how many tenths you have. Then after that we have hundredths, and then the third digit after the decimal point is always the thousandths digit. So let's look at this number. We have 294.35. Which digit is in the tens place? Well, we have to be careful here. If we're looking at whole numbers, we know that we can find the tens by just choosing the digit 2 places from the right. But we have a decimal point in our number, so we can find the digit that's 2 places to the left of the decimal point. That's this 9, so our digit in the tens place is a 9. Notice we have the decimal point, then 2 to the left, we have our tens digit. Now, which digit is in the tenths place? So really important to understand, tens and tenths show something different. The tenths place value is the first digit after the decimal point. So we can find our decimal point, and we know that the first digit to the right will be our tenths digit. So we have a 3 in our tenths place. Now, what is the value of the digit 5? So we can see the 5 is the second digit after the decimal point. And we know that the second digit after the decimal point is our hundredths digit. Now, if we want the value of the digit 5, what we need to do is turn all other place values to zeros. So that can be written 0.05 to show that this 5 stands for just 5 hundredths. We can also show the value of the digit as a fraction. We know that the second digit after the decimal point is the hundredths digit, so that's 5 hundredths. Now look at this number. We have 813.465. Which digit is in the hundredths place? Well, the hundredths place value is always the second digit after the decimal point. So we find our decimal point, and we don't want the tenths, we want the hundredths, so we want the second digit. That's a 6, so we have a 6 in our hundredths. Now, which digit is in the hundreds place? Well, the hundreds digit is always the third before the decimal point because we have ones, tens, and hundreds. So if we find the decimal point in our number, we don't want the ones, we don't want the tens, we want the hundreds. So that's an 8. Now, what is the value of the digit 5? Well, here's the digit 5, and we can see that it's the third digit after the decimal point. And the third digit after the decimal point is the thousandths digit. So this 5 represents 5 thousandths. We can write that as a decimal as 0.005, so turning all our other place values, apart from the ones we're looking at, into zeros. And these zeros in our tenths and hundredths are really important, because otherwise we would just have 0.5, but that would be 5 tenths, and we know that this 5 stands for 5 thousandths. Now we could also show the value as a fraction. This 5 is in our thousandths place, so that's 5 thousandths as a fraction.